Bonjour, privyet, guten Abend, hello, me old mucker. It's 1995, it's recovery month, and I'm Nathan, as you well know. So, what's been going on in 1995? I've written a few notes here. I wouldn't like this to appear as if any preparation had gone into this carefully constructed vlog. It's a lot of practice to make it look this improvised, I can assure you. So we have got this Japan terrorist attack. In Japan, it was attacked with sarin. 15 or 12 people were killed, and 5,000 people taken to hospital. So if you think terrorism is a relatively new thing, it's not. You know, we forget that. What else have we got here? We have got Bearings Bank collapse. All sounding very familiar, isn't it? We all think these are new things. As I said yesterday, they're not. Brixton riots. O.J. Simpson was found innocent. Oh, unbelievable. eBay was launched. Windows 95. We're starting to actually get onto a platform that kind of works in the form of Windows 95, and the music world is being saved by the likes of Weezer, Rage Against the Machine, Smashing Pumpkins, and all that good stuff in the absence of Kurt Cobain. So off that goes. So I'm at this point, I would have been 17. I would have been trying to do my A-levels whilst on a heady mix of hallucinogenics and alcohol. I would complete this test paper, but the desk is made of jelly and Mr. Ovenden's moustache has just fallen off. Would have probably been my take on that one. Somehow I managed to get through it and move on to bigger and better things, drunker and higher times. What's been going on? What's been going on in the world for me today? A theme is there. There seems to be themes developing on a daily basis, which is handy. I'd have nothing to talk about, would I? The theme today seems to be anxiety, stress, worry. I was even worried about putting this together. The irony, the levelled irony. Started off last night. I was laying in the bath. I don't want to visualise that in too much detail, but I was in the bath. I like a coloured bath, a bath bomb bath with a face mask. I don't mind admitting that to you, don't tell anyone. And I was laying there. It was meant to be in a moment of serene calm, a little bit of music playing, a little bit of French dubstep going on. And instead of being this place of tranquility, it turned out to be like a tepid puddle of anxiety and stress that I was laying in. And I'll tell you why, how pathetic is this? And it is pathetic. After we'd finished our dinner, which was a lovely combination of burgers, but in a bagel. If you've not tried that, do. Anyway, I did the washing up, and you know, I'm quite domesticated. Did the washing up, put the pots and pans away. One of the pots was a little bit out of place, wouldn't quite fit, but I shut it anyway. And I could not relax in that bath. When I had my bath, I couldn't relax in that bath for the thought of that slightly out of place pot. It played on my mind like you wouldn't believe. Yet there was nothing I could do whilst I was in that bath to adjust the positioning of that cooking utensil. And isn't that just a microcosm for the whole thing about bloody worry and anxiety and stress? This then went on further because I'd received earlier on this morning, I received a missed phone call from an old friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, who I'd known since school and have known since school. And it set my mind racing, if I'm honest. I felt very, very nervous about receiving the phone call because it was I have a tremendous amount of associations with this particular individual, predominantly a huge amount of love, but obviously drink and drugs and another life. And moreover, I went to school with him. I went to a sort of an old styley grammar school, all boys, and within that school there was a tremendous culture of of boyish banter, but on a very high level. This was like the Shaolin monastic training school of witty come downs. If you weren't verbally quite on the ball, you would be cut down on a daily basis. Whilst all this was going on, I was engaging in it throughout my school life. In hindsight, I realised actually I weren't taking those punches too well, because as I've said before, I am actually quite sensitive, and I then was worried. I wanted to speak to him because he's very dear to me, and I wanted to speak to him, but I was worried that he was gonna knock me off my cloud, or say something that cut me to the bone that I couldn't recover from, or reminded me of something, or made me feel like I'd felt at school, that insecure at that time, and I wasn't sure I could cope with that. So I was worried about all these things he was going to come back with. So I, as you do, I mulled on it, and I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I sent him a text to say, I just thought I'll just go honest. Let's just be honest. So I sent him this text that just said, really appreciate the call. I'm being a bit elusive at the moment. He knows, what I've been through and where I am. I've kept him up to date so far as that. But I just said, I'm sorry I've been a bit elusive. I'll be back to you when I feel I can, and when I don't, when I'm not quite so fragile. I'm a bit fragile at the moment. Don't say anything nasty to me. And he just come back and said, that's absolutely fine. I was just checking in with you, mate, and making sure you're okay. So all of that worry, all that bloody worry, and in regards to what he was going to say, I just thought the worst. I just flung myself into the future. This is going to be the worst possible thing he's going to say. He's going to crush me, and that wasn't fair on him. Actually, he was never like that. I just assumed the worst, and I think because you do so much beating up yourself. I have over the course of recovery and active addiction, and then into recovery, that you're giving yourself such a beating, you think that's what other people think. And the truth is, he wouldn't have texted me if he didn't care, would he? He's a lovely fellow. Why would he text me to bring me down? Didn't make any sense. It's this. Once the physical addiction goes, it's this. And if more, we need to control this more. Oh, I do. This raw way. The mastery of this is everything. Not my hair, my brain. But we all do it, and it's obviously it's not just just addicts. My fiance, as I said, the ethereal beauty of my fiance, had a presentation to do, and she was at work in front of quite a lot of people, and she was worried about that. So, for instance, she was told this. She projected forward to her standing in front of 100 people with a microphone, it all going terribly wrong. The reality was, she went to this thing. It was far more laid back than she thought it was going to be. She came across incredibly well, and I, for one, I'm very proud of her. But it was an illusion. It was an illusion she had created and then worried about. It was an illusion I'd created and then worried about. Because all you can deal with is what's in the now. And that's, as I said, it's been the reoccurring theme. I walked to do, as you know, I was doing voluntary work, voluntary work, and I was walking to Open Road, the place I volunteer for, a fantastic charity, along with Futures in Mind and Sharks and all these people that have helped me out, wonderful people. And walking past the bloody Weatherspoons, I'm sure that thing is a mile high and half a mile wide. It's funny, even though the physical cravings have gone, still the monolith of that bloody building stands above everything else. It's like a shadow. It's like I'm in a shadow when I walk past it, and I can't wait to get past the thing. but you know, I went to there and I was talking to some of the people there, and not offering advice but offering emotional support if I could, or an ear or whatever it was, and it just seemed to be an ongoing thing. People worried about this form they had to fill out, what this person thought, what this person said, and a whole lot of stuff all set in the future that you can't control until you get there. We did a bit of mindfulness. Someone said, do you want to do some mindfulness? I was like, kick the door down. Yeah, that's me. Get me in there. Where's my map? And it was just bringing, and Amanda, the lady who does it, is fantastic. And she, we did some Buddhist style, but I love all that. But a bit of Buddhist breathing, measured breathing, and then just getting back into the moment. And it's if you haven't tried it, try it. It's just bringing you back into that moment. You suddenly, well, I did come to the realization that it's just, you're in that moment. That's all you got. That's all you'll ever have. In the grand scheme of things, don't want to get too deep there. Or, you know, judge your audience. How deep you want to go. But that's all you'll ever have. And worry really is a nonsense. It's the worry over an illusion. And if that technique of bringing yourself into that moment, realizing that's all there is, and all you've got to worry about, and just being, just being. And I find it very, very, very helpful, and I'll be doing more of that, whether that be with the lovely Amanda or on YouTube or whatever it may be. You know, the theme continued though. Spoke to a friend of mine, Cap Notes, and he'd sent a text message to someone, a really nice text message. Thanks, blah blah blah. Had a great day. Worried about, you know, what the other person might think of that text. And it was a lovely text. It's that we do as we are the amplified human. I'm sure of it. You know, worried about what that person was going to think, and you know, and we do that. Assume as if we've got this superpower that we can affect someone else's emotion or how they feel, or, you know, say what you've got to say, and as long as it comes from a good place, you cannot change or affect what the other person thinks or feels. That's down to them. Once the ball has left your hand, it's up to the batsman to deal with it. So, you know, that's been the thing of the day. I feel nice and chilled now. If you've noticed, I've got a light on here because the nights are drawing in, and I feel a lot calmer. In many ways, glad that there was a bit of stress today, because it's given me something to talk about. I have, ahead of time, arranged the pots and pans into a suitable order, so I won't get stressed about them. And I will be having a relaxing bath tonight, and reminding myself continually to be, you know, as I've said before, be the water, be the cloud, bob around. Don't worry about things in the future, because you can't affect them until you get there. I'm glad I had that conversation, or at least that text with my friend. That made me feel a lot better. Just knowing that bit is okay, and I'd worried unnecessarily, as we do time and time again. I'm as bad as the next person for it, but I am, despite my alien appearance, only human. So that's it. So the conclusion I've come to, and it's a woolly conclusion, but the only types of conclusion I'm coming up with now on this journey of recovery, scooping back the 27 years that I was either high or drunk or using substances, and clawing those back day by day with your help. And the conclusion I've come to is, unless you can enjoy the present, don't bother making plans for the future, because when you get there, you won't be able to enjoy it. So that's all from me today. I bid you a pleasant evening, or afternoon or morning, whatever time stream you're in. Wicked, Junglist Massive, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.